Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit View Time. Today we've got Kinetic's brand new release. This is the 1/48 scale Pucara. Again, this is one of those kits where when it was first announced I was like, why? Because it's not a massively known aircraft. It's not particularly sort of used worldwide or anything else like that. But again, from being British and all the rest of it, it's one of those things where obviously I know it very, very well from the South Atlantic conflict down in the 80s and things like that. But and obviously I've seen one in museums and all of those things because of that, but generally not. But you think about it a little bit further and you think, actually, good on them, because again, it's one of those aircraft that is a really smart looking aircraft. It's very, very good at what it does, and it's nice that a company has sort of put their head on the block, so to speak, and decided to do it, because let's face it, it's been pretty much overlooked throughout the entire modelling community. Anyway, so 48 scale, as we can see, this is one of Kinetic's new gold edition. Now the gold edition means that it's supposed to be an upgraded tooling system with lasers and different machinery and all the rest of it. What it means from a modelling point of view is that it's supposed to be a lot better, crisper, the details are finer and everything else like that. So it should be very good. A couple of nice things to see down here. Good old two bobs, because I like two bobs. They could do good decals and various bits and pieces, and then obviously Cartograph have printed them, so that's going to be a win-win, as we can see down in here. The final iteration of the actual box art, if anybody has been following the progress of this kit, at one point it had certain weapons onto it and it was pointed out it doesn't actually use those, so good on Kinetic as well for taking a little bit of a step back, a quick bit of research, making sure, and then obviously getting it right for the final release is what we like. So down in here we've got some reference pictures as well of the real thing, which is very, very handy. We've actually got your kit number for this one, which is K48078. Okay, we've got a couple of the options, as you can see down there. So it's a Uruguayan one, and it's got a shark's mouth, so there you go, they've just sold me on that one. But anyway, if you did want to the Argentinian one as well, obviously that one is down there as well, and then there's not a lot on the other side. So in a box we are greeted by a manual. Is that going to sit up? Probably not. Let me just wedge that. There we go. We've got a sealed manual. We've got clear parts. Okay, and then we've got sprues. So we've got first sprue, separate bag. A twin, which we'd expect. We've got one for some gears and wheels, so that's nice as well. We've got the wing section, which again is really nice, and we have a box. So as always, we'll start down in here with the old instructions. I don't need the knife. Okay, so just pop in here, grab these out, just stick that in there. I'm hoping there's some decals in here, there is, and a little bit of photo etch, which is even nicer. Right, okay, so straight into the instructions, as we can see down in here. We've obviously got your call-outs for colours, which is quite nice because you've got a couple of different options down in there. So there's not a massive load of sprues into this one, but it is all here, all right. And then obviously straight into the build itself. Nicely detailed seat, so obviously it is a two-seater. All right, we've got a little bit of photo etch going down in here, which is going to make up the harnesses, the pull rings and all the rest of it for ejection handles. That's all in there, so that's quite nice indeed. Cockpit as well, and again we've got little eyebrows down in here, which is done in photo etch. Again, very nice to see. That's going to add a nice level of detail down into here. Then obviously you've got the colour callouts for it, which is obviously pointing it out. It's defaulting to MIG. Obviously they must have a tie-in with MIG instead of just using the usual colours for this one. So instead of just saying matte black, and then what's that one? That's going to be, I'm just thinking of the colours, which will probably be standard grey down in there, which would be 36270, which is sort of standard for those. Okay, dropping right through. So if you're having the centre pylon fixed as well, you'll be opening up the holes. If not, just leave it as is. A couple of other holes as well to open up as well on the side fairing. So it makes you wonder if you've got other versions of this coming along. Not that I know of any. Okay, but anyway, those are being fitted down in as well. Working our way underneath for the actual nose wheel well as well, some details, and then that's going to plug into underneath the seat, which is fair enough. And then really bringing it together. So we've got some side details being fitted down into this one. Those are going in both sides and then sandwiching the fuselage together. Okay, wing sections going in, so we've got this little detail fitted down into this, which looks like a solid one-piece wheel well going down into that one, and then we got some covers going over the backs down in there for the actual engines, and then the actual front of the engine nacelles being fitted onto this one. Pylons, again, a couple of piece pylons as well, got the sway braces, we've got a landing light is fitted into those, that's being fitted down onto that one. Exactly the same is a mirror on the other side. Okay, and then obviously putting the rest on. So tailplanes being fitted onto this one. We've got the aerials being fitted down onto it. Again, looks like it's one piece on that. I'm just thinking, is it trailing flappy ailerons maybe? Or elevators, I should say. Okay, being done to that one, but it looks like they are all moulded in one. So the wing section comes out and plugs in the bottom. Hopefully it'll be a nice tight fit. And then obviously we've got this part going on the back as well, being fitted down into that one. We've got the actuators for the controls and various things down into this one being fitted onto it, and then the actual gear going onto that one as well. So we've got the gear being fitted in, looks quite neat and tidy, and then we've got the front gear as well. Nice little focus view as well from a top-down view, making sure you've got the alignments right there with D33 and D9. Okay. Wheel wells looking very nice and tidy down there. So obviously you've got the actual main gear covers and nose wheel doors being fitted onto that one. And then it looks like we do have posable flaps. So you can have the flaps deployed or probably in the up position on that one, even if you can't do anything with the ailerons and things. Okay, some other antennas and blades and various things. And again, I take it that these being fitted onto the side here are just about to open his mouth and maybe close it. It looks like there's some type of navigation lights. I was thinking perhaps they're night flying lights and things, but I'm not sure. Okay, and then down in here we've got this. What is that? What's that? It's got like an opening on the bottom, so I presume it should be closed onto the bottom, but not sure on that one. But anyway, more aerials and various things being fitted underneath. These down here are the gun chutes as well, because obviously it's got the guns on the front of the aircraft, so those are for those. Okay, canopy work, usual thing. We've got a nice bit of internal framing. We've got a nice little rear view mirrors being fitted down in there. We've got the pitot tubes being fitted onto this one, and then obviously canopy open or closed, obviously be your choice. Props, things like that being fitted in. Okay, got static dischargers or wicks going on the back as well, made in photo etch, which is a nice little touch as well. So those being fitted into there, and then obviously we've got the actual bomb pylons or weapon pylons with sway braces. We've got two small fuel tanks. We've got the larger fuel tanks. Looks like we've got a TIA or a triple ejector rack as well, can be fitted onto that one. Okay, and then obviously we've got the various systems down on there. Colour callouts, as we said, standard. One down in there for the Argentinian Air Force, or we've got the Uruguayan Air Force one as well, which is really nice because it's got a shark's mouth. Oddly, it's not complicated. I imagined it being a lot more complicated than that, but it's not. And that can be very much a good thing. So hopefully it should make for quite a straightforward build. Okay, so down in here we've actually got the decals. Actually, I really like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, if you're going to do it, you've got to do that one, haven't you? But anyway, if you have got the Argentine one as well, beautiful markings down in there as well. Again, they are done by Cartograph, so you know they're going to be really good, and obviously Two Bolts have done the design for them, so they'll be absolutely spot on, no doubt. Okay, we've actually got a little bit of photo etch down in here. It's quite a small piece, sorry about the glare. But as you can see, everything you can actually need. These are all these wicks, all the static dischargers, and we've got the various parts we saw during the build as well. So that's all good. Okay, so let's start in the fuselage. So, again, I don't know why, but as I said, I haven't really followed the development of this at all. Sorry, but it's one of those. But it does seem to be quite, I wouldn't say basic because it's all here, but I thought there'd be more to it. I thought it was going to be a much more complicated of a build just because of its design and things like that. It's really nice they've kept it quite simple, so hopefully it'll be a nice straightforward build. So straight off the bat, we have talked about it. This is their gold edition, so you do get finer panel lines. We've got that in abundance. So as you can see down in here, it looks very nice. But so if we slip over here to the close-up, hopefully you can see the gorgeous riveting detail that's very fine on this one. Again, it's not every single all over it, it's just around the panel lines, that's all it needs, and the access doors. But this is what we're talking about with the gold edition. It's a lot sharper details. So as you can see on that tail, lots of everything you want to see. Okay, so that's actually very nice indeed. And then obviously walking around the control surfaces, we've got the tailplanes there, things like that. They're very nice with the riveting and all those areas. That all looks good. And then we've got the other ones. We've got the flaps down there on the back. On the inside, again, nice detail, and it's good, sharp, crisp detail. And you can see all these ejector pins all over this. it's covered, but look at that, they all vanished. None of them are particularly proud. Most of them are sitting around about where you want them to be. So that's very, very nice. Again, you've got the system, so it's a one piece. And again, it would have been nice, I think, to have posable control surfaces, so ailerons, tailplanes, things like that. But unfortunately, we haven't. But it is a nice system. It's just going to go in there, no problem at all. And it is two piece. You can see these are the underside ones for the actual, these ones over here, I do believe. For these ones in here and that, which are going to make up your flaps. Okay, so that's actually very, very nice. And also, it's in that nice hard plastic that I like to work with. Okay, another area, again, you know, you should say, you sort of speculate over these, but it's nice that they've done a one-piece wing system. Because what this will enable you to do is to put this in really straightforward. This could have been broken up into technically a nightmare. They could have done it where it was just the body, and then you maybe have had the situation where you're just going to run into the nacelles and then the outer wings, so forth and so on, which would have made sense because trying to get moulding around these areas is quite difficult, and that's what a lot of companies go for. But obviously, you know, we're saying about this new gold system, it enables them to spend a little bit more money on tooling, which means you can mold one of these really complicated shapes in one piece, which a lot of manufacturers wouldn't do. So very nice. And again, it is sharp. So if we just spin it round, this is the lower side. You can see all of that great detail, and it wraps right the way round. So again, really very, very nice. All those access areas look really nice. Tops of the wings, again, very, very nice indeed. Very good. And again, time spent in the cockpit. Nice detail, very sharp details. It's all molded in there in one, which is nice. And again, the level of detail, the nose wheel, look at that. Absolute ton of detail down in there. And then obviously we've got these other ones for the actual main gear. Lots of detail in there. So actually, I'm really, really taken with it. And again, right the way down in here to the actual pylons, nice side details right the way through. We've got the panels up here at the front, and obviously nothing really on those. But again, you'd be straightforward to take care of that. A little bit of handwork. Good job. No problem. Again, lots of ejector pins, but that's very, very complicated to get it out. And again, little details. The fuel tank, see? Raised, recessed, loads of detail over that one. So again, beautiful, very, very nice. Okay, so if we dive into car. Okay, so straight into the smaller parts. No weight on wheels, unfortunately, but on sprue D here, as we can see, really very nice. So you've got all your gear, which again is really nicely sharply done. The detail around this nose wheel one as well, that's absolutely beautiful the way they've done that. And again, all the various parts, good, clean. But again, we're talking about like the injection ports, very, very fine. So that makes the actual sprue tab hardly anything whatsoever, which is good again. Very, very nice. And the other thing as well, because I can't feel it on the sprue, is that the burring is minimal on the parts. So there's no real big seams running down them. What is there is very sharp, it's very crisp, which means it comes away very, very easily. So again, really very nice job. Okay, last up we've got a match pair down in here. So we'll just have a look at one. See if I can get one out without breaking the other one. There we go. Okay, so this is sprue C, looking very much the part, and again loads of detail down in here, loads of engine work over these cowls, these rears, the wheel wells, got the main gear, got that fuel tank, we've got that triple ejector rack down in here looking very nice, the prop, simple but effective. No sink marks in it or anything else like that. And again, all these small little areas down the bottom here for the sway braces and that, very, very nicely done. And then working up, we've got the sides of the seats, the seat parts, various things. As I said, got the main gears, wheel wells, and again, no ejector pins in these wheel wells, which is a nice touch. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, finally we have the clear parts. Oh, look at that. Got a little rub mark on the top. You can probably see that there. So it's been rubbing something, but a quick switch with a polisher will take care of that. But generally, really nice. Consider it's one piece moulded. It's got a nice line around it as well. So technically, masking is going to be very, very straightforward, very easy on that one as well. And again, all the small parts as well, beautifully done, very, very sharp, very crisp. Again, I don't know where that's come from because it didn't come off the bag. So it's also been rubbing something before it got bagged. But again, a couple of swipes with a polisher will take care of that, no problem at all. There you have it. To be honest with you, when I first opened the box, I was like, well, where is it? I was expecting something more parts, you know. It's quite a low part count, although it's 260. It doesn't feel it. It feels more like 140. But yeah, it's definitely one of those that when you look at it though and you get under the skin of it, the amount of work that's gone into, especially that wing section, one piece, that's very complex. There's lots of stuff going all over it. It's highly detailed. You've got riveting in there and everything else. So to pull that out of a mold is not an easy feat. Same with the main body. Let's face it, it'd been very easy to do the two parts, have the tail off, something else like that. You've got a seam to deal with. So again, saves us modelers having to fix stuff and make it all right and everything else like that. So generally, really do like it. And it has got looks like a rat's mouth actually or something onto it, which is very, very smart markings as well. So I have to give it absolute must because it's a beautiful kit. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And to be honest, thanks to the power of the internet, I've seen lots of people build this already and it looks to be an absolute stunning kit when it's made up. So there we go. That's Kinetic's Gold Edition 1/48 scale Pucara.